this whole election thing is rather funny. Red tsunami, well, the red wave, red tsunami. I think the media is downplaying things. If we're the Democrats in this situation, I mean, it definitely wasn't a tsunami, but well, you know what? I would say it was tsunami because the earth rattled. The United States rattled. When I was in Hawaii, we went through a tsunami. And I believe that was 2010 tsunami. But it was only like 3 feet high. It wasn't that catastrophic. There was an earthquake in the ocean, and so, yeah. But now everyone is like, oh, Trump's the problem. We lost because of Trump. People are always trying to point the finger at other people. This is why I don't get into political parties. This is why I don't really deal with other people. Is because they cannot stand alone. Everyone wants to belong. And now every single Republican is playing Monday morning quarterback for the Sunday games. I think I used that appropriately. I'm not a big sports guy. That's the damn issue. People then go out and vote, and I mean, really, there's elections. It's all fucking farce. It's all a joke. Things don't matter. How is anyone actually going to prove anything? And the fact that there's an issue in Arizona, and it's just kind of crazy how certain areas like Georgia, well, we can already see that there's, and this is coming from the radical left, that there's election discrepancies in Georgia, and then we also see it, which was highly contested during 2020, and they're still counting votes in Arizona. Why is it so hard to freaking count? We have all this technology, but it's still so freaking hard to count. And why can't we vote from our phones? We can do our taxes from our phones. And we're talking about money. We're talking about assets. We're talking about sensitive data, information. But votes? Is that because that freaking hackers would be able to observe these votes? And, oh, so this is what's been going on all these years. And expose the system. We should be able to vote from our phones. Right? Don't get too caught up in the crap.
That held up really well.
Just...
And that's pretty much a hole I could crawl through.
Yeah, hold on a second. I'm watching this part. Alright, sorry. I love Warhammers, and Fortune of Fire just had an episode on like the final test was Warhammer. The reason why I like it is because it's I could swing a hammer. Excuse me. Pretty good with it, and it's carrying a shotgun, and and armor piercing around in medieval times. It's and the fact that it can be one or two-handed, makes it very versatile. Anyways, we don't need right now, like, it seems like the Republicans are becoming a split, and it's like, okay, it's like we've gone back in time. The Republicans who didn't want Trump to run in 2016, now they're having to say so because they're blaming Trump because the Trump-endorsed Republicans, they lost. But is that really the case? I mean, no. It's just, like, that's what people are saying. the rhinos are coming out. It's divide and conquer. It's like, what the Democrats are doing, the Democrats are doing, is they're dividing their own ranks, but they're somewhat, they don't like each other, but they have a common enemy, like they share a common enemy, whereas the Republicans, and like I said, I don't like identifiers like these. The Republicans, they are just united against stopping Democrats. But the thing is that there's some Democrats, like, and Republicans who share common things, and those are the ones who are like the actual bipartisan ones. Whereas, and just like the whole Roe v. Wade situation, that is causing, and that was a big issue according to lamestream media, and the way a person decided to vote. And it's one of those topics. The way that Republicans have politicized things, and I'm not saying that they're wrong. In fact, I would say that their arguments were more in my favor, because talking about inflation, price of gas, cost of living, and the essentials, the reasons why we have a government in the first place, those were being addressed. Whereas Democrats were making false promises, just like friggin', how did the Texas judge just stop Joe Biden from protecting and by forgiving all these student loans? Those are like my things. And so, the Democrats are doing crazy crap like that because they're able to push things through, knowing that they're going to be stretched, and the thing like that they're going to be losing. There's no way that we can forgive these student loans. There might be ways to actually do something about them, but people are still going to be stuck with the bill. But the fact that this argument is still going on, that's like winning a lottery to some people. All these student loans, they're going to be forgiven. And so you're talking about someone getting $40,000 of debt forgiveness. That's like winning a lottery to a point, right? That's how the Democrats are running with things. Whereas the Republicans have been more like, well, it's been the same thing as the Democrats, just mirrored. Sorry, you can't really think of things, but I mean, like, okay, so attacking woke culture and things of that nature, and that's what I'm talking about. Is everything has just been so simple. It's been we're coloring. We're making decisions by names and color association, not on the actual ideas. And that's what I've always wanted people to be more involved in politics. And that was what is so great about Trump, is that he's gotten people more involved in politics. The problem is that at the point in time in which they got involved into these politics, they're learning from they're being thrown into it, and aren't adapting, whereas understanding all the false flag attacks and the false wars and the reasons why we've gotten into all these wars and things like that. They don't understand how crooked the government is. They trust the government. And it's just like that's what's scary. Is that this new generation of voters are contaminated, and the Republican, like the Gen, what is it, Z? Y? I don't fucking know. The younger kids, like the ones who are just now, like the 18-year-olds these days, the Republicans are not near. The Republican children, youth, are not of voting age. The Republican youth of voting age are not nearly as engaged in politics as the Democrat left, the radical left youth of voting age. If that makes sense. And that's pretty much where we, as a nation, lost, is because these children are voting on things that they don't even understand. And who doesn't want free stuff? And especially because the way we've been growing up. I mean, the television's the babysitter, as in cable guy. Mom and dad work all the time. I mean, if you're lucky, I'd like to have mom and dad living in the same house, but mostly it's freaking mom and freaking George, because step parents. I mean, broken homes and all that. I just wish people would understand politics a little bit better, because culture is a very significant part of everything, especially our decision-making process. And we're making a lot of bad decisions for the future. And I'm not saying that Republicans are the best, are the solution. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, if voting actually does matter, then we need to do better as the constituents. How can we defeat the politicians through voting? I mean, and vote with our dollars, vote with what we buy, where we go do business, what we're willing to pay for. And, I mean, just imagine if friggin' the United States made it an obligation for a month, for 1 hour, throughout an entire month, to just not spend any money. Do you know how much of a catastrophe that'd be? Because over a month, that'd be one full day and a third, roughly a third. Well, let's see, so just about, not buy gas for an entire hour, not gonna buy gas for a day. That's what people don't realize, is how powerful we are. We just need to unite. Excuse me. If we unite it, got the hiccups. Fucking heartburn. If we unite it, we'll be able to do freaking a hell of a lot. we could change things. Government is not a bad thing. Excuse me. It's gotten too big, oversized, overpowered. We've gotten lazy. If we could take on more responsibility, then we should be able to downsize the government. Take on more responsibility, so we shift the burden. The burdens that the responsibilities that we trusted the responsibilities that we trusted the government with, we take those back. From there, we demolish organizations. Why do we need the VA? We have the Department of Defense. They give us the paperwork. And then, okay, there's satellite locations with the DoD, but we don't need hospitals. We go to the general public. We pick our doctors, and this is getting so annoying, I'm so sorry. And we pick our doctors. That way the money stays in our locations. It gives us more freedom. And I'm sorry, I can't do this much longer. For a moment, hold on. And why do I need to go to the VA when I can just go to make an appointment with a local doctor, help keep them in business, take on my health myself, except bureaucrats trying to tell me what it is and this, that, and the other. It's little things like that. Even road construction, road repairs. There's bringing the locals. Having a fire department, hey, that's good government. Police department, good government. FDA, Food and Drug Administration, good government. There's good parts of the government. It's just too damn big. And there's a better way to go about this. And there's no reason why public servants need to be celebrities. Unless that is what they were before they came into office. And having corporate money turning public servants into millionaires, that's no bueno too. Why these people get special rights, that's no bueno. No good. Anyways, take care, be safe, be kind, stay strong. I love you all. And I'm sorry for the hiccups at the end here. For just getting worked out. And I think I'm off my suspension from YouTube.